Alright, so what I did here was I drew a rough, not to scale. Let me bring you in here. This isn't to scale. This is just a drawing of the frame. Over here, I don't know if you guys can see. I just took all these dimensions and I picked the reference point, and I picked this top corner. I picked this top corner as a reference point, and I just went and took all my dimensions off of this, and I laid everything out as an X and a Y coordinate. And using my height gauge, I described all the marks, and I'm going to bring these marks over to the digital readout once I get this set up in the mill, and I will precisionally locate each of these holes with these coordinates. I just laid it out just as a double check, and just make sure that I don't lose track of anything, and just gives me a better visualization of it. So I'll bring you back when we get this piece in the mill, and we'll drill some holes. Okay, so off camera I went and I used my edge finder, found the edge here and here, and zeroed it out. So right now this is centered right over the very corner, which I said I was going to use as my reference point. So if I get the paper in here, so the piece is laid out like this here. So now what I'm going to do is let me swing you over to the digital readout and try to get you into focus here. Okay. How's everything going to fit in here? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to program each of these coordinates in as subdatum points and put it into the memory on here. So I went ahead and numbered each of the features, or the holes in this particular case, 6 holes, and then I just want to drill a 1/4 inch hole through here, and that'll be the radius in this corner. So let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, the digital readout is zeroed in the X and Y coordinates, and we'll enter the subdatum 1, and we'll put the so we'll put the X coordinate in for that. So that is 1, 531 inches, and the Y coordinate will be 0.3125. Okay, so those will be the coordinates for the hole number 1. Datum point 2, I'll move down to here, and the X coordinate will be 0.125, and the Y coordinate will be 3125, and the third, the X coordinate will be 0.1562, and the Y coordinate 0.937. Enter. And you guys get the idea. I'll go through and I'll program the rest of these coordinates in, and I'll bring you back when I'm ready to start drilling these holes. Alright, so what I did was put a small center drill in the chuck here. I zeroed out the digital readout, so now this is right on my reference point, which I spoke about earlier. I picked this point here to be the reference point. So everything, all of these holes and the features, well, holes in this case, is going to be referenced from that corner there. And you see me put some of these coordinates into the digital readout. So now this is on 0. Now I'll go into the subdatum. Now this is number 1, and those will be the coordinates for number 1. So I'll just move the table until those are zeroed. There. Okay. All right. And this will come into that, gets zeroed out. Okay, I'm going to lock these down. Okay, so now, if you guys can see that, that's right above that. That's right above that point there, where the crankshaft bearing will eventually go into. So let's get that center drilled. And now I'll move it to the next coordinate, number 2, which is here. Now that's along the same center line of the axis of the crankshafts. So that's just got to get moved in the X direction for this particular. So once again, I'm going to bring this back until it zeros. Whoa, too far. Right there. Again, I'm just going to put a little Now that hole's going to be a 1/16 of an inch hole. I'm not going to drill that until later on at the very end. I got some other operations I got to do before that hole gets drilled. Okay, next hole. Now, okay, so now I got all these holes laid out here, just touched with the center drill, and now I'll come back and I'll drill the appropriate size holes selecting each of the locations, going through the 7 coordinates once again. So got the 4 number 43 drills, holes drilled out, the 3/8 hole drill for the crankshaft bushing, and then I'm just gonna come back now and move to the next coordinate, and that'll be a 1/4" drill bit, and give me a nice radius in here, so when I come back later on, when I get to the point where I'm gonna mill that step out, that'll be a nice radius to start with.